In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
As we look up at the stars, you can't help to wonder how many alien civilizations could exist in the universe. In this documentary, we will review theories and opinions on what alien races are believed to have visited Earth. An investigative mythologist, William Henry, shares his thoughts.
Three categories of organic alien beings that have been interacting with humanity. You have your reptilian types, you have what we describe as the Nordics, and then you have the Greys. These types of descriptions appear over and over again in various mythic and historical traditions. Clearly, what we are being told here is that in the ancient times, there was a battle for control over Earth, and indeed the destiny of humanity.
There are a lot of theories that alien races are and have been at war over the control of our planet. The aliens we refer to as the Greys are thought to be sympathetic towards mankind. There is another race believed to not have mankind's interest. That race is referred to as the Reptilians. Author of Ancient Technology in Peru and Bolivia, David Childers explains.
Ancient astronaut theorists often think that there were several kinds of extraterrestrials who were coming to the planet and fighting wars over which extraterrestrial race would nurture humans and bring them along to the point where they are now.
It is believed that the reptilian race has committed abductions of humans. For genetic study, there are an overwhelming number of abduction cases over the years.
A number of abductees have claimed that they've been subjected to genetic experiments by reptilian aliens who are looking at them and their DNA for ongoing research of creating, say, a future human.
Is it possible that the reptilians are responsible for mankind's abduction cases over the past? More and more agree with this assumption. Founder, Reptilian Research Center, John Rhodes.
It seems reasonable to assume that if we, human beings, are now experimenting with animals, doing genetic experiments, that if we have a higher culture to us scientifically, an older culture, they may have been drawing us in as their experimental stock. Could Earth have been actually populated a long time ago as an actual zoo? In other words, could we have other alien beings always coming down to Earth because Earth is their science workshop?
Many believe that there is a war going on for control of Earth. Whether the aliens have our best interests or their own agenda. Sightings of UFOs have been witnessed for hundreds of years. One of the first interviews about UFOs happened in 1952. Major General John Samford.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States. In pursuit of this obligation, since 1947, we have received and analyzed between 1,000 and 2,000 reports that have come to us from all kinds of sources. Of this great mass of reports, we have been able adequately to explain the great bulk of them, explain them to our own satisfaction. A certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things. It is this group of observations that we now are attempting to resolve. Our basic difficulty in dealing with these is that there is no measurement of them that makes it possible for us to put them in any pattern that would be profitable for a deliberate, custom sort of analysis to take the next step. These are in no way connected with any secret development by any agency of the United States.
How many alien races out there in existence is unknown. We are going to take a look at 3 races many believe have interacted with mankind. The Nordics. Some believe of an existence of a race called Nordics. The Nordics are a human-like species who first began appearing to contactees in the 1950s, claiming to be from the planet Venus and later the Pleiades star cluster. Many believe Nordics are perhaps the most human in appearance of all extraterrestrials. They tend to have blonde to reddish hair, blue or green eyes, and stand anywhere from 5 to 7 feet tall. Nordic aliens are also known as tall whites and space brothers. They are thought to be the angelic beings represented in many religions and ancient civilizations. The message that seems to follow each encounter with the Nordic species is the importance of spiritual awareness and the stewardship of our planet. According to the Nordics, humans are a closely related species, and the human ascension process involves learning how to overcome our differences in order to live as one.
There are really two kinds of contactee subcultures in a sense. There was the one that began in Southern California in the 1950s and went on until it petered out sometime in the 60s. Was composed in great part of people who claimed actual physical contact with extraterrestrials. And they provided photographs and films of what were represented as spaceships, but which were all too clearly small objects, models. The belief was that there were selected Earthlings who were in regular communication with space people. They were often called space brothers. They were angelic beings, usually with long blonde hair and almost sort of androgynous features, really kind of angels in spacesuits, basically. And that the universe was densely populated, mostly by advanced, benevolent civilizations with an occult philosophy. There was also belief that there was a minority of civilizations in the universe that were demonic, that were really evil, and that they had earthly allies. And the good space people were, among other things, trying to stop the designs of the bad space people. And also, the good space people were trying to prevent Earthlings from blowing themselves up with atomic bombs.
If an alien race does come to Earth, what would their intentions be? How would mankind react? Would they be interested in our planet's resources? Or have they arrived to conquer our planet? Physics professor Michio Kaku.
I think there's almost 100% chance that there are alien forms of life in the universe other than our own. Satellite has given us a census of the Milky Way galaxy. We know that between 50 to 100% of the stars you see at night have planets. And even if the aliens don't want to conquer us, even if the aliens don't want to eat us, even if the aliens don't want to plunder our natural resources, we might get in the way because maybe they have different intentions toward us. The simplest thing they can do to neutralize our weapons is to use the electromagnetic. If they are warlike, it would be like Godzilla meeting Bambi. It would be no contest whatsoever.
Back in 1941 in Roswell, New Mexico, many believe that an alien spacecraft crashed in the desert. It has been said one alien survived the crash and the military transported him to a base called Area 51. Former Air Force intelligence officer Richard Doty.
In 1947, two craft crashed in New Mexico. They collided, and one crashed near Corona, New Mexico, which is public record. The second craft crashed way out west of Magdalena, New Mexico, and that wasn't found until 2 years later. But the one that crashed in Corona, they also found a live alien. That live alien was named Eva, and he was transported to, it was a male, was transported to Los Alamos, where he lived out his life. He died in 1952. But during that time period that he was with us, he told us a plethora of information about what they have learned about the universe and what their technology is. Their technology is probably estimated to be about 50,000 years ahead of us.
The following recording is believed to be the first of an alien gray. It is believed that an alien ship crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 and one alien gray survived the crash. He was then reported to be moved to a base called Area 51. The video we are about to see consists of what looks like an interrogation of the alien gray. As the recording continues, it would seem that the alien is having respiratory problems and is showing discomfort. At this time in the recording, the alien's condition deteriorates. Medical staff appear and looks like they start to diagnose what could be wrong and attempt to help the alien. At this point, the medical staff seems to be concerned with his airway, or possibly his respiratory system. Many have speculated whether this recording is real or fake. Tom Coleman, who is president of Rocket Films, gives his opinion on the tape.
You're asking me if I think this is real? That have I finally seen a space alien? I don't know. But I do know this. I know that this is not a tricked up version like the alien autopsy. It doesn't attempt to distract you away from the alien. It doesn't have that cinema verite, black and white. It doesn't go to great lengths to try to fool the audience. Straight ahead. It's an alien on tape. Pretty much the way you'd probably film it. The point is this: what if it is real?
The Greys are assumed by many to come from the constellation of Orion and the star system Zeta Reticuli. It is assumed that they are a small civilization and well advanced compared to the human race. It is believed that they are many clones and very few originals. This could be one reason many believe they are responsible for human abduction, if aliens have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. Many ask, what could be their agenda? Jim Mars.
What is the alien agenda? In fact, I think we're undergoing a conditioning process right now. Full disclosure is only going to come from them, okay? And think about it, all they got to do is hover over a city long enough for the news crews to get out and take footage, and then the game's up. And I think the alien agenda is to observe and try to help kick the human evolution up the evolutionary ladder in a covert manner so that we will hurry up and become part of the intergalactic community instead of wiping ourselves out with thermonuclear weapons.
As more and more witnesses come forward about abductions, what do the aliens want? Former intelligence officer Daryl Sims.
And to my shock and amazement, they all came back with the exact same story, the same craft, the same entities. They identified each other in great detail. Some of them didn't even know each other very well. All of these people described being taken by a small craft and a small entity, and the entity took them to a much larger craft. One of the people taken saw a map-like thing on the wall. The map that this individual saw that was on the wall indicated approximately 6,000 years of the aliens' involvement with mankind. What we deduced from the information from the abductee was simply that this experiment, whatever it is almost over.
If aliens come to Earth, will it be for peace and harmony, or to conquer and rule over our race? Former British Ministry of Defense Nick Pope.
There are more intelligent, more powerful, and therefore more dangerous civilizations out there. We should be very careful. It is possible to conceive of other civilizations who are at war in the cosmos and who are perhaps desperate for new territories or new resources. They may look at the Earth. They came here with friendship. As explorers, that's great. We would hold out the hand of friendship ourselves. If they came as conquerors, I think we would simply have to surrender. This would be a war we could not win.
It so seems. Aliens have been interacting with mankind for centuries. Some for the better, and some for the worse. If aliens are not visiting Earth, could that be for the better? Physics professor, Michio Kaku.
So I think it's a good idea to keep our presence a secret so that the aliens don't put us in their sights. Who knows what the aliens believe in?